My name is Lindsey Pelas. I'm a model, actress, social media star, and I live in Los Angeles, California.
First question is, how did you get into modeling?
So I got into modeling through my work. I actually was a waitress at Hooters, go figure. And we had a calendar search and I was obsessed. I wanted to be in that swimsuit calendar so badly. And so I would try out. I didn't make it a few times, but eventually I did. And I started winning some or placing in some local bikini contests. And so I was into modeling a little bit. And then when Instagram came out, I would post selfies all the time. And I had people contact me from certain photographers and certain brands saying they wanted to work together. And then I thought that I would pursue modeling.
Who's your favorite photographer and what makes a great photographer?
Who's my favorite photographer? Oh my gosh, that's such a hard one because I love all my photographer friends. I work with some of my favorites. I work with Martin Depict, Brian B. Hayes. I work with JZL Photography. I love working with people that I get to know and that are my friends. Some of them have more talent than, some people who are self-taught just made a business out of their own hobby and creativity. Their work is like 10 times more impressive than some of this expensive, like magazine photo shoots that I see all the time. So I love the people that I get to work with every day. So those are some of my top ones. But yeah, I love just working with talented people. And it's just fun working with people who are, making a name for themselves, doing it their own way.
What is your top tips for posing during a photo shoot?
Okay, my top tips for posing when you're in a photo shoot is definitely number one, look at the light. The most beautiful person will look like a potato in the wrong light, and the most potato looking person will look beautiful in the right light. So you really have to look into the light because it's going to make your features look so much nicer. And yeah, just know your angles. And you honestly have to get over the fear of looking like an idiot, because when you model, you kind of look like an idiot. Like the things that you're doing are pretty silly and goofy, and the faces you're making are really unnatural. So you just have to get over looking dumb and just have no shame, and then it'll work out.
Well, what is your top modeling highlight?
Oh my God. My top modeling highlight, I got to shoot for Yeezy, which I thought was really, really fun. We did the campaign where we were the Kims with the blonde wig. I thought that was pretty sick. I get to be in GQ. I did an interview in Playboy magazine. I was on the cover of FHM. So I've had a lot of modeling highlights, but I don't think I've even hit my favorite yet. I don't know my favorite. I don't think my favorite has happened yet. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, what would be your dream photo shoot?
One of my dream photo shoots is for sure a cold, icy Arctic, maybe on a boat, like a cruise. I always loved that Kate Upton shoot in Sports Illustrated where she had the big white winter coat and she was freezing and she was around all the penguins. Like I've never done I've been in a snow shoot before, but I'd love to do something even more hardcore and very cold. That would make me happy.
You should come to Scotland then. It's absolutely freezing.
Is it?
Yeah.
I want like a glacier and like a polar bear, the whole thing.
That's more Iceland, actually, that's just north of Scotland. So obviously in Iceland, you've got the northern lights, which are the green lights, but you can see them in Scotland as well. But Iceland is obviously a little bit better.
Yeah. I might do it. I shot in Death Valley. So technically I shot in one of the hottest places on the world. So maybe I should find the coldest. And then that would be wouldn't that be cool? I should do like hottest, coldest, wettest, highest. Ooh, see, I'm coming up with some stuff.
Under the sea.
Oh, deepest? That could be sick. That might scare me.
That would be cool, actually. It would be terrifying. It's very, very scary in the deepest.
Yeah, it sounds scary.
Okay, do you plan on continuing the Eyes Up Here podcast and favorite guest so far?
I do think that my Eyes Up Here podcast will come back. It's been before COVID, I actually was planning to partner with a new company and I had all these plans. And then I got really busy with other stuff. I maintained my fan page, which takes up a lot of time. That and the Instagram content, and then just trying to stay sane they are full-time jobs. So I do think it's going to come back in due time. And, my favorite guests, it's hard because I love them all. I love interviewing. My friends are so funny. My friends are just natural born comedians. So I love my friends, but then I'll have other, stars on. And I've even had experts. I've had professors from USC. And I've had, comedians like Chelsea Lynn, who's one of my favorites, and Bert Kreischer. So it's hard to pick. I love them all. And I love everyone for all their stories. So I really can't pick a favorite.
I actually watched the Bert Kreischer interview or podcast even that he did with you on his channel.
He's so good.
It seemed to me that he was a little bit starstruck, actually, which was
That's so weird. And that was back in the day before I was so like young. I didn't even get dressed to go to an interview. So I was wearing like gym clothes and a hat. So like, I didn't even think twice. I was just so laid back.
yeah, maybe it was good. It was very, very interesting. And but I just thought it was interesting that he, who is also a celebrity, was starstruck himself. So that's quite cool. Okay, next question is, why did you choose a history degree?
I chose to get a history degree at LSU because I did have a scholarship that would allow me 4 years to get something in the works. And history was something I was just naturally interested in and good at. It's storytelling, and I love stories. So I just thought, yeah, let me study history while I'm here. I could get a degree, and if I wanted to change it or get something else, I'll come back if I want to. But I had that scholarship, and I just thought, let's go this route. And I feel like now I just use it to argue on Twitter.
What is your favorite social media platform? Why?
My favorite social media platform is Twitter because I like knowing the thoughts of humankind. Our brains are funny. There are just so many jokes. I feel like it's the fastest piece of media in the world today. It's like citizen journalism. You get to hear from people live, honestly, for the most part. And I just really enjoy Twitter. I think it's fun. I think it's a good place to actually get to know someone's personality.
You have a larger Instagram following than almost 50% of the world's countries' populations. How do you deal with that sort of pressure?
Having such a large following, it would come with a lot of pressure, I think. There's definitely sometimes where I hope that I'm not like dropping some kind of ball, but to be honest, the following I got was because I just posted what I liked when I liked it, and that's never going to change. So I don't know. I very much stayed true to who I am. I don't look at it. I never desired to be an influencer. I think that's kind of a cheesy term, but I just, I'm just going to be me regardless. If people like it, that would be fantastic. But if they don't, I'm still going to be me.
Yeah. So there's 195 countries in the world, and you have more followers than about, I think it's 97 of them, which is a lot.
So we should start a new country.
You could start a new country, actually, which is crazy.
I'm going to start a new country with Tosh. He's going to be my president.
Right now, you have more power at your fingertips than half of the governments in the world. That's crazy.
I got to figure something out to do with it.
It's a lot of power, yeah. Okay, so great question. What was it like working with Playboy? And did you meet Hugh Hefner?
Working with Playboy was very fun. Playboy was such a big deal when I was growing up in Louisiana, and those girls were stars. And it's really been fun getting to know all the Playmates. I actually am a co-owner of a restaurant in Los Angeles with Jade Nicole, who was like Playmate of the Year. And I've gotten to be friends with Jessa Hinton and like Sarah Underwood. So the fangirl in me loves that I got to work with Playboy and get to know these amazing women. I think that's the best part of working with Playboy, is just getting to meet cool people. But I've never met Hugh Hefner aside from like a little bit of a wave. I was at one of the last Halloween parties. No, I was actually at a Halloween party when I met Dan Bilzerian, and that was the first and only time I had ever seen Hugh Hefner. And he'd come downstairs and taken a photo with everyone. And so it might have been like this much of a meet, but that's all I got.
What skills do you learn as an influencer that people might not be aware of?
Some of the skills I've learned through being a social media creator would be, I've learned how to edit. I've learned how to negotiate. I've learned how to do some really, I can read a contract pretty well, and I can adjust a contract, and I know how to redline something. But yeah, the editing is one of the biggest. I can edit videos. I've actually put commercials together for a couple brands that are million and billion-dollar brands. So I've made commercials. I've chosen the sets. I've done the styling. I've done the editing. And I think that's what a lot of people wouldn't know, because modeling is its own job. Editor is its own job. Set design production person is its own job, and then stylist is its own job. And a lot of the times I'm doing all the jobs at once, so it might seem like, oh, I just take like a hot photo and I post it and that's it, but I've actually like worked tirelessly to get the right shot. And I'm kind of this mad woman when I want to get the shot. So like my calendars every year, those are about 17 images that I produce. So I'll set up the whole day shoot. And sometimes I have extras and I have these looks that I need to get. And it's a lot of work, but it's fun. It's like a resume builder.
What is your least favorite interview you've done so far? And why?
My least favorite interview that I've done so far was with this radio show. I think they were out of the New York area. I honestly can't even remember the name, but it was one of those like super misogynistic ones where it was like 3 guys and 1 lady who would like laugh at their dumb jokes. And they were like, they were kind of like insulting me while I was speaking and laughing at me, not with me. And it was so funny. It was just like boring, stupid interview. And then at the end, this guy, one of the radio hosts was a comedian. And so he announced his like tour dates and I just yawned while he did it. And it was so funny. It totally like took away from his thing and he looked like an idiot, but you know, I can play dirty too.
You have to. I mean, you cannot disrespect your guests. I mean, when you ask a guest to come join you for an interview, the idea is you know that they're the one putting in their views, so therefore you have to show respect. I mean,
yeah, and who wants to be anyway? It's so much more fun to be fun. It's so much more fun to be like nice and actually be nice to other people. I find joy in that. I couldn't imagine wanting to like get a rise out of someone, you know?
Yeah.
Unless I'm flirting with them. I think sometimes I flirt and I can get a little too mean, but I'm working on that.
Me too. Okay, so the next question is, how did you get into acting?
So I actually got into acting on a whim. I was dating Dan Bilzerian and he was filming a movie and they gave me some lines in the film. So that was my first acting job, was, you know, saying this. It was just a few lines, but it was for this really big movie. And all of a sudden out of nowhere, I was just on a set with like hundreds of people. But that was the first time I had an acting job. And then I kept working through there. So I've been on Rachel Dratch's Late Night Snack. I was on MTV's Wild and Out as a Wild and Out girl, which was really fun. But I've also appeared in series like The Bay, and I have a few films coming out, and I'm filming a series regular role right now. So yeah, I've just been taking the acting jobs as they come. And I'm a very I had a phrase for it that I used to say, but I'm an on-the-job actress. Like I've learned so much through acting and not the other way around. I had to work growing up and I had to go to college and I didn't really get the traditional actors I didn't take the traditional actors route. I've really been like a working class, figure it out when I go kind of person. And, it's been amazing. I think it's kind of fun that way.
What's been your favorite experience so far on set?
My favorite experience so far on the set, I think, was actually just filming my latest movie, Alone at Night. We had so much of the dialogue was improv, and we had a blast. The premise of our characters were really, really funny. So we were just being creative and having a ton of fun. And it honestly didn't even feel like work. It felt like we were just goofing around. And I think everyone's gonna really enjoy it.
What would be your dream acting role and co-star? I have a feeling, because I did a little bit of research, that I'm going to guess who the co-star is.
Wait, I want to know your guess.
Marky Mark.
Oh my God, I wish. Well, you know what? Mark Wahlberg will always be my crush, but he is a happily married man. So I would actually not want to work with Mark Wahlberg because that would just be painful. But no, I think my dream acting co-star would actually be a woman that I look up to. And I don't want to jinx it because it might actually be happening already. So I don't want to say it in case it is, but there is a chance that it will happen. And I can't tell you, you know?
What can you tell me about your role in Paper Empire?
My role in Paper Empire is definitely different from something that I've ever filmed before. I don't want to give too much of it away because I'm not sure what I'm allowed to give away, but I definitely play someone who is very sassy and cunning and in unique situations. Very unique situation.
What are you most proud of in your career so far?
I'm most proud of in my career so far, actually just advancing the career of the people around me and the people that I love. So it's always fun in this industry when someone, you know, there's always going to be someone who gives you a helping hand, whether they say your name for this project or they think about you, you know, for this appearance or something like that. And so it's always nice when you get to pay that forward too. So when, you know, you have the perfect makeup artist for this celebrity, or maybe you have the perfect actor to do this other job, I think that is the most fulfilling part, is when you kind of, you know, give that helping hand back.
Do you believe in ghosts, and why?
Ooh, do I believe in ghosts? Okay, I think I definitely believe in spirits. I believe in spirit guides. I don't know. I don't know if, do I believe in there's like a Casper ghost kind of thing? Maybe. I think if there is a spirit floating around, they want to be here floating around. It's not like some like ghost prison that they're in. I think they're just like, oh, it would be so fun to float around. So, you know, maybe. I don't know. That is a very unclear answer, but I think that's the most honest answer is maybe, I don't know. Ghosts, maybe, I don't know.
So actually, you probably aren't aware, right? But Scotland is actually the UFO hotspot sighting of the world. You would think it would be like Roswell or something, but there's a place in Scotland called the Falkirk Triangle, and there's more UFO sightings there than any other part of the world. So
what?
Yeah, so it's Scotland is like a hotbed. There's like so many people that have been abducted and stuff. It's crazy.
Shut up! Wait, that's cool.
Yeah, it's in the south.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm fascinated with it as well. It's actually, if you do bring back your podcast, you should speak to some of the paranormal like investigators that investigate like the most famous like UFO abduction stuff. I
gotta be careful. They'll take me out. If I get too good, they'll take me out.
True.
Like this little blonde lady needs to shut up.
True. So the last question is, do you believe in aliens and UFOs? Have you seen UFOs?
Okay, do I believe in aliens? Hell yeah, because that is such a fun thing to think about. And yes, I do believe in UFOs. I do think though, I don't know, my suspicion is that like I shouldn't probably say this out loud, but you know, I think aliens, if there are some, they're just a version of humans, if that makes sense. Like they either know about us in the future tense or in a pretense in some way. But I do think they're a version of us. And that's just what I think. We have to call Scully and Mulder. I don't know.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
You know, I don't know if I've seen a UFO. I have no idea if I've seen a UFO, because how would you know anyway? But it's funny. I am actually about to get in the car and go to the desert today. So maybe I'll see one today. They like the desert, I heard.
Yeah, well, that is the kind of place where you would see them. Yeah, that's it. So last thing is basically let people know where they can find you.
You can find me pretty much on any social media at Lyndsey Pelas, or you can go to my website, lindseypelas.com, and I'll just see you around.